How's it going, everybody? I got me knife. I got me Nightwing. Let's open him up. Also, I have a plant down here now. Say hello to my little green friend, Sebastian. I think I need more houseplants in my life. Alright, so this Nightwing is from a whole new wave of Spin Master 12-inch figures. On the back you can see that there's Riddler and Joker and a whole bunch of other Batman variants that I'm not in the least bit interested in. Oh yeah, and of course they've got an image of the regular generic Batman. It's funny, on the back, they're just all labeled Batman. Not like Electric Shock Batman or like Weird Blue Camo Batman. They're just all labeled Batman. Down here we have a whole bunch of stuff that usually nobody reads and no one cares about, but it's all of that legalese. Warning, choking hazard, small parts. Each sold separately, subject to availability. Actually, it says those exact things in, like, Boku languages. And apparently if you're 0 to 3, then it's not okay for you. And if you're a lion, then these are right up your alleyway. As you can see right here, this is a first edition. Not that that usually matters. I don't really see any value in comparison to the first or the second editions. That's like saying that those gold Batman figures are rare chase variants when I found them literally everywhere I looked for Spin Master Batman figures, and I found just as many of them as I did the regular ones. I think the gold action figures are really just they're a money grab. I found this guy in my local Walmart. He was the only one there, which means he came short packed. Or that could also mean that Nightwing, because he's a really popular character and he's brand new, everyone else that wanted one that got there before me just bought one and I happened to get the last one. I do think it's kind of cool that the package was redesigned for this series of figures. Not that I didn't like the old packaging, but the blue really makes these pop off the shelf a lot more. Now it's time to open them up. Don't cut your fingers. Don't cut the figure. Don't worry, Nightwing. I am not going to cut... Oh, I cut the figure. I'm just kidding. I didn't cut him. Oh, clamshell! Vacuum sealed bubble stuck to his butt. It's a bubble butt. Here is what you get. Nightwing in all of his black tights glory. This is the rebirth version of Nightwing. The dead giveaway is the wrist gauntlets here. They got the straps around the wrists. And then you got that very specific to the rebirth version of Nightwing design right here. More blue down below at the calves to break up the monotony of the black. Not bad. Not bad at all. I like how you can see the wrinkles in his suit there. So it actually looks like he's wearing a one-piece unitard. The Nightwing symbol across his chest that goes all the way around his back, that's all been sculpted onto the figure and not just painted, which is always a bonus when they take time to tool the details onto the figure rather than just painting them on. But I think that's because, as with all the rest of the 12-inch figures from this series, they've all got newly tooled detail. The only time you see a figure that is tooled exactly the same is if it's a variant. So all those Batmans have the same detail. The blue, the black, the weird bluish camouflage, the green one. I think they're pretty much all the same, aside from a few minor details, right? Not a bad Nightwing head sculpt, though, I must say. Certainly captures the likeness of Dick Grayson as Nightwing. It's sculpted nice. I kind of wish that there were 6-inch scale action figures that Spin Master was legally allowed to produce with a bit more articulation that could really satiate a little bit of the collector market and a little bit more of the kid market, because Spin Master does actually a really good job with their half of the license, their piece of the portion of the... Spin Master really does a good job with their portion of the license. They've done some fantastic little tiny 4-inch scale figures, and their 12-inch figures are certainly very good as well. As for the articulation, I hear that it's not a real action figure review unless you cover the articulation, so... Here we go. The legs, they open up all the way like that on those roundy hinges like that. The legs, they could go forward. Just like that, they can go backwards about this. You got some single jointed knees and they crunch up about that. And they can go back straight. They're on a ratchet, so they will hold their position. No articulation whatsoever in the waist or in the torso. The head's on a ball joint. You can go around in a circle. Don't expect him to look up much just on account of the fact that it's not really well articulated. And the back of his head, his hair kind of gets in the way. Arms go up about that much on a rounded hinge. He can do a full T-pose like that. And then you can actually twist the arms up like this. So he does have a very full range of motion from the shoulders down. However, no bicep swivel, no double jointed elbows, single jointed, barely 90 degrees, not quite, but kind of, and they don't rotate whatsoever. And then finally, Nightwing does have rotation in the wrist by way of one of these bad boys. This is too much fun. And that, my super friends, is the sum total of articulation that Nightwing has. Now, for comparison, I've brought out Batman. And where's Damian? Oh no! Damian is upstairs in my son's bedroom. And he's doing virtual learning and the door's shut. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can sneak him out. Okay, I'm back, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to retrieve the Damian Robin from my son's room on account of the fact that he is doing his virtual learning with his class, and they're currently writing a rap song. School just sounds so much more fun now than it was back then. We never got to write rap songs. We were just happy when the teacher broke out the crayons and pencil crayons. However, I did bring out the Batman, and I've also got another Nightwing figure, and a Batgirl. And a Batgirl. A Batgirl. A Batgirl! Now, first off, through the magic of editing, you're currently looking at a picture of Damian, Nightwing, and Batman all side by side, so you can get an idea of what those immediate members of the Bat family from this line of figures all look like, how they scale together. And yes, Damian is definitely too big. It seems like everybody sculpts Damian too big lately. The McFarlane version is too tall, the Spin Master version is too tall, but I feel like with Spin Master, they kind of get a break because they're really just kids' toys. And kids don't really care if Damian is that much taller. So I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? However, as far as Batman and Nightwing go, well, you can clearly see that the size comparison is actually not entirely inaccurate. Spin Master got it right because Nightwing is a little bit, a wee butt hair shorter than Batman. And the reality is, Nightwing is a bit shorter than Batman in the source material, but really not by a whole heck of a lot. And let's face it, he's taken on the cowl at one point and been the Batman. And unless you knew it was Dick under that mask, no one knew. Here we see both of the Dicks together, and that doesn't sound right. Here we see both of the Nightwing figures together. This one here is from the Batman Missions, and this one is the current Nightwing based on the Rebirth look from Spin Master Toys. If I had to pick between two of them, which one do I want to take to a desert island with me? Because that's the thing that I've been doing. I've been taking one of these to a desert island, but if I had to pick one, I would definitely, without question, without hesitation, pick the Spin Master. It's simpler, that's true. And Mattel, with their Missions line, gussied it up and made it kind of a pseudo-ish, movie-ish, kind of comic book-ish sort of line. But I'm always a bigger fan of the comic book appearances of the characters because I appreciate the source material more than anything else. So I think that this one is definitely cooler looking. I also appreciate the more slender body of the Spin Master in comparison to the Mattel Nightwing. But please don't think that this is turning into a I don't like the Mattel Batman Missions version because I have this one now. I love this one too. I think that this is a very good head sculpt. A head sculpt to die for. Please don't come and kill me trying to get this head sculpt off this figure. Just go buy your own or buy it off eBay, please and thank you. But I certainly think that this one here pales in the shadow of the Spin Master one. This one wins the gold prize. And this one... Why am I looking at their butts? Nightwing, you're fired from the video now. And Babs and Nightwing, I feel like this is a reasonable comparison as well because Barbara Gordon is absolutely shorter than Dick. Whoops, don't fall over. Don't. Those heels don't make it easy to stand her up. Seriously, look at these little tiny heels on the back. Even the Superpowers Wonder Woman, they made the heels go all the way through the boot. Stay. Okay, there we go. You can see here that Barbara is shorter than Dick, and she is supposed to be. That is as it should be as far as comic accuracy goes. Batgirl, surprise, surprise to many, is not an Amazon. She's just a regular old human being ginger. Long live the gingers. Woo! I guess what I'm getting at here is if you really wanted to have just one of each character and you wanted to mix and match with your 12-inch figures between the Mattel and the Spin Master, you could do that, because there really is no guarantee that we're going to see a 12-inch Spin Master Batgirl anyway, on account of the fact they haven't made a small one. I think we probably stand a larger chance of finding a 12-inch Spin Master Catwoman in the future than a Batgirl. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I've shown you everything. I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully you found this review to be an interesting, helpful, useful waste of time for the day. And if you did, you know where all the little buttons are that do all the stuff, like the like button and the subscribe button. If you're not, you don't need someone to explain that to you. We're all familiar with YouTube here. You can feel free to do so if you'd like or not. But at any rate, thank you so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me, and I will see you with the next one. Bye for now.